Thank you, Dr. Iyer. Again, my name is Don McCreary, and in contrast to some of Laura's comments, Jeb Conrad is my boss, and he is doing a fantastic job at Kokomo. So I wanted to make that very clear.
Your nose is dirty.
I'm a proud Purdue alum, as is my wife. She's actually got 2 degrees from Purdue here. I've got a sophomore in high school, so we have started the college discussion. And I've told him that he can go into any college he would like to, but if he wants me to pay, it's going to be Purdue. So got that going right away. But as we get into, I do want to talk just a little bit more about the tool, and then, as Dr. Iyer mentioned, 2 kind of unique business models, propositions that we've gotten started in Kokomo. One is NewPath, and then the other is a CAD lab that's a regional resource I want to make everybody aware of. I do need to give credit to Dr. Iyer and Mary Pilot, not only for all their hard work and efforts, but being a proponent of lean practices, reuse, that sort of thing. I reused much of the information in this first one, which is code word for stole, from Dr. Iyer and Mary's presentation here a while back. So got to give them credit for that. But some of our goals from a supply chain standpoint, obviously, we wanted a mechanism to promote some of our competitive assets. It's very easy to say, hey, here are some of the initiatives, some of the tax abatements, that sort of thing, but how do you really demonstrate the supply chain? How do you let folks know, we're talking with a wind turbine manufacturer, for example, that we've got a very capable supply chain located in Kokomo, Indiana, Howard County, and the surrounding region. How do you clearly do that? So we did want to highlight those capabilities and those supply chains, and then potentially target specific industries and sectors with some of our regional capability. So the wonderful students here at Purdue, under the tutelage of Dr. Iyer and Mary, we did a web crawl on over 100 Howard County. We kind of boiled it down to and selected 24 beta companies. Integrated Services Incorporated, ISI, is one of those, as is Hewitt Molding, a couple of reps that are here today. And really, how do we position ourselves from an economic development standpoint to better be able to showcase that? One of the key pieces of that, obviously, was the security of the information they're sharing with us. You know, there's a public view, and then there's an internal view that we have access to help as we're talking with companies, and then ultimately, hopefully, hook those companies up with the companies that are in our region. So we did put together a very secure vetting process that allows for some additional outreach. Part of that, obviously, is us making sure we know the companies and the capabilities, and having a frequent contact and frequent conversations with them as things are changing, new opportunities are coming up. Just very briefly, and this is an eye chart, I just wanted to throw it up. This is a screenshot of the tool. When our Jacada site does go live, this will be out there and available. In the top left corner, we get search filters. You can search by SIC code, SIC code currently. We are looking at expanding that to include NAICS codes. You can do a keyword search. You see the word plastic there, so you can do a keyword search and kind of drill down. On the right-hand side, then, you go through some of the five industries that Jeb mentioned, and there are subsets within there. So you can really look at and slice and dice the data in a number of ways. We've gotten a good start in Howard County. We definitely need more data density. We've also realized that we do have some gaps in our supply chain just within Howard County. So we are actively looking at how do we expand this project, how do we include other counties within our region. Basically, if we can come at some of these opportunities with a regional approach and really demonstrate that supply chain, so we're pulling in our local economic development organizations within the other counties and trying to take this as a regional approach. It'll also allow some commonization across some of the LEDOs in the different counties. And it also allows for the highlighting of individual county capabilities.
Can I ask you one question?
Yes, sir.
I'm just maybe being away from things for a while. So the idea is in particular industries or sectors, and there's a set of companies that are in these particular sectors, and you're linking
initially making that linkage, again, if we use
And
the,
it's totally electronic.
it's electronic, there is certainly, again, using the wind turbine industry. If we're talking with a wind turbine manufacturer considering locating in or around our area, we can say, hey, we have 4 companies that can provide these types of components. We have 6 machine shops that can hold
And then
tolerances.
if there's a potential, wind turbines are going, like close to West Lafayette or wherever it may be. So to make sure that that information is available
Right.
to all.
Yeah, whether it's site selectors, to us from an economic development standpoint, they've got direct access to the individual companies, and certainly if the questioning becomes deeper, then we definitely want, to pull those companies in and present it as a joint effort.
Right, well, that's in the region as well, there's business. So you could bring in companies, external companies.
Oh, absolutely.
And have that networking and things.
So the only thing that's limiting this right now, I mean, the real extra to what would happen to a normal business is to take companies, because in terms of the data, we're sort of machining capability and tolerances. So we could take companies who are not in that business right now and flexibility. You could bid for this, even though you had never done this before.
Right.
Now, the part we need is that detailed level of cooperation from more companies. So we got that in the greater Kokomo region. Once we get other regions and their economic development officials to come in, that's when we'll get this effect. So potentially, companies will hear about opportunities that they never thought of, but we flag the fact that, oh, with your tolerances, this might be an opportunity. So that's where. So there's there are a whole bunch of algorithms at the back, which.
Just to close on this, from a supply chain standpoint, once our site goes live, if any of you are interested in looking at that or getting access, let me know, get with me on a break, and we'll get that process started once we're live.